Hi, I'm John with ClearPath RV Solutions. One of the most common questions we get from customers is, do they really need DC to DC charging? And if you have a tow behind, fifth wheel, or even a van, and you like to be off grid, at some point in your trip, you're going to experience a shortage of battery capacity. It's gonna slowly start to dwindle because the solar isn't keeping up. And when I'm designing full power systems, I like to include as many charging sources as possible. In other words, I don't want you lacking for power. When we're traveling, our DC to DC is charging our batteries from one destination to the next. We get into the next destination, our batteries are at full capacity. And it all starts up front at the starting battery. So this is a GM 3500, and I like to come off of the auxiliary battery. The reason being, GM will sell this great little auxiliary kit, and I think they were designed for like snow plows, but they really work great for DC to DC charging. So it's this bar and these studs, and then you can put a fuse in here and run your cable off of that fuse and along the frame. So we've got number 4 copper. Everything's crimped, heat shrinked. It's in a wire loom, drops down and runs along the frame of the truck to the back end. So here we are at the back. This particular truck already had the cable, 80 amp wire running from that auxiliary battery back to this area for a dual ARB compressor. So we mounted a 50 amp circuit breaker right there, tapping into the 80 amp wire to feed the DC to DC charger. So here we are at the bumper. Here's my 7-way. I'll go ahead and plug that in. And then here's the DC to DC umbilical that's run on back into the distribution equipment. Here's where we come out. On GMs, I found this is the easiest to pop through the plastic part of the bumper right here and go ahead and mount it at an angle here with stainless hardware. We'll pull these caps. And get her plugged in. Let's go inside. So here we are inside. This is the Orion XS 121250 DC to DC charger. I've reduced the number 4 to a number 6 on the input, number 6 on the output, and that runs over to a 60 amp fuse in the Lynx distributor. One of the nice things about the Orion XS is it's got engine run sensing. So unless the engine's running, it's not going to pull any power from the truck. Likewise, if the engine's not running, it's not going to back charge the truck from the coach batteries. And then if you can see there, I've got it sitting on a cooling base. So that base houses a cooling fan and a temperature sensor to unload any excess heat. So I'm inside. We've started up the tow vehicle. Here's the Victron Connect app. You can see the DC to DC charger on the top line. It's not drawing much right now because the batteries are at 99%. If you look at amp shunt, we're at 99%. So they're showing absorption and only about 7 amps input. When the batteries need it, you'll see that ramp up to between 40 and 50 amps. Well, I hope this helps you understand why we include DC to DC charging in our full power builds. Thank you for watching and have safe travels.